Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and I just want to talk about having finished watching The Last of Us episode 4. This takes us back into Joel and Ellie fighting to survive as they traverse the nation. Last episode, they were just outside Boston a few miles. Now, apparently, I think it said around Kansas City, so I'm going to assume Kansas City, Missouri. Uh, because they do pull up to one area on their trip with the truck, and it's like straightforward Iowa, and then it had a curve off sign to go to Wichita, which is in Nebraska. So, and later on, one of the other characters talks about it being Kansas City or whatever. So I'm assuming they're in that area of the nation, Missouri, so on, on their way to Wyoming. Now, they hit a point where, if you've ever played the game, it's pretty accurate. They get ambushed and end up losing the vehicle. Well, then they're on foot, and because they had to defend themselves from the ambushers, Joe ends up killing the one guy. Well, the people that were part of that territory or quarantine zone or whatever, they found the body, and it was somebody they knew, and so apparently they were already searching for certain people, but they were like, it's got to be their doing, because they don't know who Joe and Ellie is and everything. So, but um, they end up hiding out in an abandoned liquor store. And then, after they know people have already searched many of the old apartments, they travel into one because it's like you wouldn't think they would come back to search again these apartments. But they go to sleep, but when they wake up, there's some people already there, which I remember this part of the story vaguely. So I've never played the game, but I've watched others play it. And yeah, I remember this part. They encounter a couple of people. But yeah, um, I think the biggest thing in this episode Joel chuckles. He laughs. It's the first time we see anything other than seriousness or sorrow upon Joel's face. Because until this point, after it, you know, his daughter and brother try to escape, you don't see any more of a happy Joel. But in this episode, he laughs towards the end of the episode. His shell begins to crumble a bit. He still considers Ellie cargo, but he sees her. She begins to break down the shell of his emotions a bit. Because up until this point, he's been over serious or sorrowful, depending on what's happened. But her and the joke book she's got kind of slowly chips away at who he is. He goes, because what it is, she tells him this pun, this joke. At first, he's like, so stupid. And then he kind of chuckles. He goes, that kind of thing. And he goes, that's so stupid. And she says, but you laughed. He says, I did not laugh. She says, yes, you did. And then he starts laughing. He actually starts laughing more. So we see more of who Joel is. Like I said, up to this point, we don't know a happy Joel since before his daughter died. If you remember the first episode, he was joking, he was goofy, but then everything went to hell. He became all solemn and serious, or would have moments of pain depending on what was going on. And so you can kind of tell he shut himself off to really feel emotions. But Ellie has opened his. She's kind of pried open that heart a little bit. We get a look at Joel being happy once more. I think that's the biggest piece of this episode, for me at least, is seeing Joel. He kind of smiles and chuckles. He's like, so stupid. Yeah, but I'll go ahead and end this episode here. Educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite the sources. See you all in the next one. Until then, later.